Hello everyone and welcome to Shelf Space. I'm your host Ross13 and today we are looking at the HG GN Archer from Gundam 00. Picked this up a little while ago for a special custom project, and before I get started on that I just want to show you guys what it looks like, well, normal. But first, let's take a look at the box. So as you can see, we got a very nice illustration of the GN Archer in its robot mode. And then in the back, you can sort of see its transformed mode, but it's also combined with that other one. It's not the Curios. At least I don't think it is. I can't remember the names of all the Gundam 00 suits. I'm sorry. I'm sure Shoki will repeatedly correct me somewhere in the comments, in real life. Yeah. And moving on. Anyway, we got the HG Gundam 00 logo. Mobile Suit Gundam 00. This has the blue Bandai logo on it, so it's released under Bandai Spirits. So this one is a reissue of the original kit, which was originally released back in 2009. On this side, we have some nice painted photographs of it doing all sorts of different things. This kit is completely in Japanese, so I can't read any of this. But hey, here's that docking thing I was telling you about. And it does a lot of cool stuff. On this side is the same illustration as before, the number 29 HG Gundam 00 logo, the blue Bandai logo again. All sorts of other stuff. And then over here is little write-ups about the mobile suit itself and the pilot, which, again, I can't read any of this, other than this part, which says Soma Pires in English. Then the usual safety information, and of course the off-centered UPC code thing, making me sad. No yen price removed. I still don't understand why they did this. On this side, same as the other, but we have the bluefin sticker, and that is that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual figure now. And here it is. And something you'll probably notice is I don't have any of the stickers on. This one is going to be like the main part of a custom, and I didn't really feel like putting on the stickers and then taking them off again. Besides, some of them I may want to use for the custom itself, but here's what they look like. So not a huge sticker sheet, but there are some big ones. So like you got one for the cockpit, these are for the weapons. These, I'm not even 100% sure what they're for. I think they're just to mark out some vents. And then this right here is actually for the torso, and I didn't even realize it had a pink little cockpit thing there. I think that's kind of silly looking, so to be honest, I kind of like it red, so I'll probably just leave it like that. Well, in this version, I'm going to be painting and customizing this one, so yeah. Anyway, moving on. As you can see, the mobile suit itself is kind of small. I mean, not super small, but it feels small, particularly with this huge backpack it's got going on here. But that's pretty much the way this thing was designed. We also get some very much gem vibes. What with the white and red color scheme, the big green visor on the front. But really, I actually dig this design. I like the more sort of simplified look of things. And just the overall setup for it is very cool to me. So even if I wasn't doing the custom, I'm glad I picked this up. Let's go ahead and start talking about articulation, starting with, so, take a quick look at the sculpt, but got a little bit of detail on here. Not a whole lot, but this thing is a very smooth design. I do like the black sticking out on the sides, as well as the green coming out from the visor and the little head camera. And you got sort of a yellow ponytail thing going on that's hard to see because everything is blocking it. Though this thing does restrict articulation a little bit, as does the way this collar and head is shaped. You're on a standard sort of HG double ball jointed neck thing, so you get a little bit of turkey movement. Focus. And you can just barely make out that there are like sort of eye details back there. When I do this up for real, I may try taking the head apart and putting a little bit of silver for the eyes, see if maybe that'll get them to pop a little bit. That'd be kind of cool, right? But yeah, so the head looks cool, but the way things are shaped, it does restrict things a little bit, so something to be aware of. On the torso, let's see, you don't really have much in the way of like ab crunch or anything. You do have rotation. Shoulders are connected in with the sort of a ball socket joint, and yeah, there isn't the standard butterfly joint, but whoa, we're way out of focus. But you do get a little bit of good forward bend just because of the length of the peg there. Arm can rotate inside the shoulder, so you can get about that high, and then you can rotate to get the rest of the movement that you want. You do get bicep swivel, which is important for transformation. You have, that's right, it's a single jointed elbow, surprisingly enough. You have a little bit of rotation or hinging here at the wrist, which is kind of a 00 thing that they did. And then you have ball socket joint for the hands. There are no extra hands, but I imagine if you get a hand set, you can probably put some more in there. So on the hips, your legs are connected to ball joints, but with the armor, you can't really do good splits and focus. You can kick up pretty decently though, and you do have a double jointed knee, which is very important for transformation. The ankle is kind of weird because you get some really nice toe point, but you kind of have to rotate and then push things together in order for it to stay. Otherwise, the foot is likely to come off. But the ball joint also allows for some ankle rotation or ankle tilt, so you can get a pretty decent A stance. The backpack makes things very back heavy, so that's problematic, except for the fact that these parts do basically act as a tripod, but it's a little bothersome that they have to do that. These things can rotate like this and spin around here and here. You even get a little bit of rotation here, so you can just sort of position them how you want. This part is also hinged, but that's for transformation. So yeah, posability isn't horrible, but it does have some restrictions, particularly with the way these parts stick down. You're limited to what you can do standing on the ground. She really feels like she's more designed for an action stand, which she doesn't come with, which is a little bothersome. I would have thought they would have given you at least a simple one with this, but maybe they didn't have simple ones just yet. I don't know. But I like her. It's a fun little design, and it works out fairly well. Let's go ahead and get her transformed, and you can take a look at that. Alright, so transformation isn't super complicated. We're going to kind of position these up here. This part tilts up and over. You can see there's a slot there for her little ponytail fin thing, and that just goes like that. You will see her head there, and that's just the way it's designed, unfortunately. You then do the usual Gundam knee bend thing and tilt the toes. Interestingly enough, you don't rotate the waist around. I thought for sure you would do that with because of those fins there, but no, you don't do that actually. Then you're going to rotate the arms around like this. Kind of bend the elbows, and then just sort of position them like this, and then tilt these down. Kind of finesse everything, and there you go. It's not much to look at. But this is pretty much how it looked in the show, so you can't complain too much. It's more designed as a spaceship, so you have like an aerodynamic cockpit, but the rest of it looks more like a boat or something. But it gets the job done, I suppose. Swoosh, swoosh. And it's also a fairly quick, easy transformation, and it doesn't parts form, so I have trouble getting really upset about it. Let's go ahead and get her back into robot mode so we can talk about accessories. She doesn't come with a lot, but she does have a few. So right now we got these two little blaster shield-like things that just slot into her hands like so. You can even leave these in for transformed mode, but they feel kind of loose to me when I do that, and I'm worried they're just going to fall out, so I just leave them off. These, I don't care for too much. They're kind of silly looking, I think, and they don't sit in the hands super tightly. They get the job done, but I think I would have liked something different. The only other accessories she has aren't really related to her exactly. I still have them on the runner here, but you can see we got a few parts that are specifically for combining with, I think it's the Curios. This basically goes underneath the two of them when they're in their jet mode and helps stabilize them, and these are just parts that connect to them to make it a little bit more secure. So since I don't have that one and I'm not really planning on doing this, these don't do much for me. They'll go into the parts bin as soon as I'm done with this. But yeah, overall, it's not a bad little kit. You have some articulation things that you need to be aware of, and this backpack is a bit of a bummer, but it's also kind of how it's designed, so it's hard to get upset about it when this is how it looks on the show. So at least a tentative recommendation. I do really like this because I do have some really cool stuff planned for this, and you'll see that in the near future. Maybe not on this channel, though. Stay tuned. So yeah, that has been a review. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Check the description below for links to my storefront where you can get official shelf space t-shirts and more. And yeah, thank you again, and I'll see you next time you invade my shelf space.